Oleksandr Usyk took Anthony Joshua into deep water.
Yeah.
He gonna say,
I see.
Slow it down. Yeah.
I was
Just
slow.
let that let that wash over you.
I don't know what's
like
wrong
water
with it.
wash over you.
Stop.
It's only a couple of us in here.
Yeah, come on now.
You man just do it every week.
Yeah, but that
Meanwhile, our producer is like,
he loved it. He loved it. He appreciated
let
it.
me just get
Amateurs.
where I need to be.
Deon Andronica. But the the fight didn't go as I
And
expected.
we broke it down pretty good.
Yeah. Nah, don't take your credit because you had the prediction. It was like Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. I threw the lob up like NBA Jam, and you smoked it.
I was like, Shawn Kemp when he went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Not the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was you were like Orlando Magic, Sean Kemp.
Oh, I took notes on this.
Me too. I got some notes.
you got some notes?
Yeah.
we got
You
notes.
guys got some bars? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Carson.
I'll just say first. I was wrong. I was wrong about the fight. I thought Joshua. I think the speed was a huge difference, which I didn't. I guess anticipate. Let me disclaimer. He looked exponentially better than he did against Chisora.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So this
Dance partner.
yeah,
partner.
100%. So this
partner.
wasn't like. I think I was expecting Usyk that we saw against Chisora, and I was like, I didn't see the hand speed, I didn't see the movement, and this was like, was the best Oleksandr Usyk we could see, and hand speed, feet speed.
Well, that stuff was almost everything he did to set up his punches was just as important or even more important than the punches
A
themselves.
lot of feints.
Yeah.
Was that a heavyweight record for feints? Because Usyk was feinting, and Joshua every time was like, "Oh, hey now." That left hand was like a missile.
I told Sean when we got here, I said he feinted more than I expected him to feint, and his movement even was. It was. You said that you saw a little bit of me, and I actually saw a lot. I saw a lot of Manny Pacquiao in terms of his movement.
Okay.
His in and out and his offline movement. It makes you unpredictable, and I think for the most part, it made Anthony Joshua uneasy. He wasn't able to really set his feet.
Fighting off angles, like another Ukrainian fighter,
punch.
perhaps.
Yeah, that's how they fight. You know what I mean? So, very impressive.
Yeah.
By Oleksandr Usyk. And I had another thought too. People don't know this, but I wish I had more names, but just to sum it up, I fought Daniel Jacobs 5 times, I think, in the amateurs between
You lost 5 times?
Between the age of 14 and 21. I lost most of them.
I thought you only fought once.
Nah.
Great fighter, man, and we had some wars. But when the best fight the best, people are so like y'all not used to seeing it. And so a lot of people are writing off Anthony Joshua, saying he ain't this and he ain't that. My man had 4 out of 5 belts or 3 out of 4 belts.
Yeah.
He is all that, and he came up against somebody who last night.
Don't take that from
was a
him. He's
little
not
bit more-
overrated. None of that.
You can't.
He
take
got
it from
outboxed
him.
by a boxer.
And didn't
Got
get
outboxed by
knocked
boxer.
out. Like
Yeah, got outboxed
didn't lose every round.
Yeah.
You
Like
could argue he could have taken more chances.
Yeah.
Try to.
Sure.
I think Usyk wanted it more. I think it's fair to say that he took more chances being a smaller guy. He initiated exchanges more often.
I think
Props to Usyk for that.
I think Usyk knew more of what he needed to do. I don't think Anthony Joshua and his team really knew what to do. There was one round where Joshua AJ had success going to the body, and then he started to kind of push forward, and he started going to the head too.
Yeah,
that was what he needed to do, but I don't think he was prepared to do that. And so I think that it wasn't so much as I think you would classify it as an adjustment, but I think it was more so, let me try this. And I think that when he tried it and it worked, I don't think that was something that he had worked on enough for him to have confidence in doing it. But I feel like if he had put his foot on the gas pedal, if he had stayed in Usyk's face with his jab in his right hand and not allowing Usyk to use his movement and work off of his jab, I think that he would have had more success. I think the other thing too, Usyk was landing that left hand almost at will.
Yeah.
And I always say this, people think that southpaws have advantages over orthodox fighters. The angles are the same. The boxing match is the same boxing match. Everything that you have, I also have at my disposal. It's all a matter of who can utilize it and who can make it work. And so when you see the only thing is when you see a southpaw get in the ring with the orthodox fighter, usually the orthodox fighter has not been up against as many southpaws as the southpaw has been up against orthodox fighters.
Right.
Fair point.
So traditionally, orthodox fighters are not as comfortable against southpaws as they are with orthodox fighters. But everything relatively is the same. So the same way he's trying to set up his angle for his left hand and he's landing that left hand at will, they should have been in camp working on that right hand so that they could throw the right hand consistently, throw the right hand first, close the distance and throw 1-2s, things like that. I just don't think that Anthony Joshua was as prepared. And I think that this would be good for a rematch.
Yeah.
Going back to what I said about Daniel Jacobs, y'all not used to seeing this. If y'all had more of this, then a night like last night would be great, and you would look forward to another great night. You wouldn't necessarily write off AJ saying, okay, who's next? Write off AJ saying, okay, we don't want to see Tyson Fury and AJ. We don't want to see Deontay Wilder and AJ.
Yeah.
Those are still fantastic fights.
I want to see Wilder Joshua no matter what.
And
'cause that's a knockout.
And I think he has said he will exercise the rematch
Pun
clause.
intended or pun intended or
No.
You said that is a knockout.
Well, that's what I mean.
I like that.
It's ending.
I think Tony Bellew had, and it was before the fight, had a really good breakdown. He obviously fought Oleksandr Usyk.
Right.
And he got knocked out by a clean left hand when they fought.
After outboxing him early.
And that's what he was saying. He said he had success, but he said it was mentally exhausting and tiring him out trying to figure out Usyk. And he said by the time you get later on, like he was like, I was worn out because you're trying to stay ahead of this great. I mean, he's a pound for pound boxer, and he's like,
and Deontay will have to biting on those feints gets you exhausted.
Yeah.
And Deontay was biting on every feint against Tyson. So he'll have to, just looking ahead to that fight after watching this fight, those feints, he'll have to not bite on them so much or figure them out.
what are the notes, Ant?
And hey, I think he gives Deontay Wilder hell too.
I think
Usyk?
he gives Tyson Fury
Hey,
hell.
he gonna get Tyson Fury. I think that'll go decision. But that's his. Everybody kept saying during the fight. I would hear him say, "Can he keep this up? Can he keep this up?" He kept it up.
Yeah,
and
that's what he does.
Yeah, so it's like Joshua wanted to box him, but he couldn't outbox the boxer.
Yeah.
Usyk was the real boxer in the fight. And I want to ask you this, Sean. It's like when he was tapping him, he knew he could touch him, but it's like when he came with something, he was gone. What was that about? He just
like a big shot.
Yeah, it was just like everything was a setup.
Talking about AJ?
Yeah, he
AJ was touching
him, but then we'll come with something. Usyk was gone.
Yeah.
I liked Roy. Roy's funny to listen to.
Yeah.
But I liked the two things that he said during the fight. One round he said AJ's trying to hit him with the jab. He's trying to touch him with the jab. What he needs to do is just throw it. Just throw it. Throwing the jab, you can use the jab in a lot of different ways, but one thing you could do with the jab is just throw it out there. If you throw it out there, it sets the guy up, keeps that guy off balance, doesn't allow that guy to set up, doesn't let that guy, it gets his mind and start thinking about other things.
No, that's what Usyk kept doing to him.
Yeah, and that's what Usyk kept doing to him. And I think that AJ got to the point where he was like, let me just touch. Let me, I don't want to, I can't hurt. Let me just touch. I just need to touch you. And I think that those were moments where he had some success. He was able to actually touch Oleksandr. And I think that a part of that was him just saying, okay, I'm not going to hurt him. I gotta touch him. I gotta win rounds. And he had success in those moments where he decided to take the steam off and just try to find him.
And I'm not even sure if it was, we talked about that AJ's been, obviously we talked about the discussion last week because he's been more tentative since he got knocked out by Ruiz. I'm not even sure if it was the power that he was not scared of, in quotes, I say scared
Weary,
of.
yeah.
I think it was the speed. I think he didn't want to get close and put his foot on the pedal because he was going to get hit with multiple shots. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was like, yeah, he might knock me out with one shot. I think it was like, if I open myself up, he's going to light me up with this left hand consistently over and over and over. So
my dad teaches offense and defense. So
special teams.
Yeah, man, you gotta, that's the speciality in it, is you gotta know how to go like really quickly. You know that if I throw this punch, this is more than likely what's coming back. You gotta have the anticipation, and then you have to have the reflexes to make the right defensive move. And when you talk about, I get it, you talk about that speed and things like that, but you got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared for someone who's got fast hands, knowing that, hey, I got to take this shot, but when I take this shot, I got to be ready for what he's going to come back with. study film, know what that dude, know what his tendencies are, what he tentatively or what he usually, what he usually counters with.
Let me ask
it's
you
not
this.
always gonna be the same counter, but what does he usually counter with? Let me be prepared for that.
Is it something where not that the weight, the physical weight itself made a huge difference, but is it something where if Joshua looks at the Witherspoon and Chisora fight, we just admitted he didn't look the same. He looked a lot better here. Mm-hmm. So is it something where he could even look at as a cruiserweight? It's just a very different kind of level, or is that just where you're going to see some of these natural tendencies, what they're going to revert to? Most
it's
likely?
always even think about that. It's a good question, but think about it. This is his second fight at heavyweight. Third fight. This is his third fight at heavyweight. He's been there 2 years. I don't know because of this pandemic, but right around 2 years.
2 years,
Not much is going to change yet. He may put on some weight, he may put on some muscle, he may get a little stronger, but he is who he is as a fighter. You can always count on him until he's done fighting.
Like Calvin Ford said,
he'll be 250 still boxing like that because that's his identity.
Yeah.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson A. Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.